Nowhere Video Network.
This just isn't working. Do something else. This just is not working.
Jeez.
Oh, scared the crap out of me. Okay. Good evening. I'm Todd Hilton.
And I'm Chris DeBois.
And welcome to Nowhere Video's Halloween Party. That's right. We're back for another round of Halloween madness.
Another?
Yeah.
Are we doing it again?
We're just doing it again. We don't quit. We just keep coming back. And kind of like that whole Michael Myers thing. He just keeps coming back.
Well, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later. In tonight's program, we're going to be sharing with you what we've learned on the history of All Hallows Eve, October 31st.
Should provide pretty interesting for those of you that care.
Actually, it is pretty interesting. I've learned quite a bit here in actually just the last few days as I've been studying up for tonight's show. Contained within the show tonight, in addition to the history of Halloween as we know it, and as we don't know it, we also have we have clips that we're going to share with you featuring our past Halloweens. Halloween. Yeah, actually, there's more than one. Because we have a, let's see, we take a visit to a haunted house. We take you back to, actually, I believe it is our first Halloween, yours and mine.
And we also visit the Great Pumpkin.
We also visit the Great Pumpkin, yes. We do get around.
Don't admit that to me.
So, and featuring in tonight's show, we have an analysis we're going to do for you on our favorite series of movies.
Appropriately.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween actually comes from a festival. It's actually a celebration that was called Samhain. Actually, that's one of the pronunciations. The most common, at least in the spiritual sense, it's actually pronounced Samhain. And what this was, it was a time of endings and beginnings. And after the celebration of Samhain, that was actually the new year for certain religions. It was described as a time when the veil between worlds is thin and spirits may pass through that easier. It also describes it that it's a time to celebrate the past year and the year to come. It's also a time to light bonfires and honor deceased loved ones. Actually, one of the rituals that we are most familiar with, the wearing of scary costumes, actually came from the use of these costumes to scare away evil spirits. And the jack-o'-lantern, as it was originally called, carving pumpkins, the face that you would carve on it would also be used to scare away evil spirits. And the candle that you'd put in it would actually be used to draw the, say, spirits of your loved ones to you, so they could find you. It's actually just some of the various aspects of, we'll call it Samhain because we like that.
Sounds better.
It just sounds better.
And Samhain actually has other pronunciations, as Todd said, Samhain, and that's also got what's, I guess, be considered Sa-Vin, which I guess in some places the W and the V are kind of the same thing, so I guess maybe technically it would kind of be the same thing. Or just regular Samhain, as we prefer.
The way we like it.
Which is usually indicated as the end of summer, and some celebrate it October 31st. Other traditions would celebrate it November 1st. And which would be kind of cool if we did that here.
Oh, yeah.
Two days of Halloween. Hey, what the heck? Originally, Halloween was considered the festival of the dead. And then celebrated in Celtic countries was a means by leaving food offerings at altars, doorsteps for the wandering dead. And today, a lot of the practices are still going on, and candles were lit and left in the windows to help guide the spirits. And extra chairs were set at tables around the hearth for unseen guests. So you gotta have some place for them to sit for crying out loud. They visit
You got company coming.
And apples were buried along roadsides and paths for spirits who were lost and had no descendants to provide for them. So they thought of everything.
Yeah.
It's like if you're lost, you got a way. And this was a time that cattle and other livestock were slaughtered for eating to ensuing winter months, so they had something to eat later on. And it's kind of stupid.
Quite extensive literature on the subject, actually. And as we found out, just reading this stuff, it's like you find out why we do certain things. Many of us have forgotten the origins of these things. We don't know why. The reason we carve pumpkins is because our families have always done it, but we don't necessarily know why it's done. So what do pumpkins have to do with Halloween? Well, it's kind of one of the things where this tells you the history of it and how it got started.
And you got like certain symbols that represent Halloween. I guess depending on if your belief goes that route anyway.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of third harvest kind of talk if you know what that is. Some of us don't, and a lot of them was the it's like for dark mysteries, which kind of sounds like you're raising dead or something, I guess. And it was kind of to symbolize a rebirth through death.
Which makes sense.
And the symbols, of course, of Samhain anyway. Gourds, apples, black cats, jack-o'-lanterns, and besoms, I guess. It was kind of like treated like, well, for us, Thanksgiving or Christmas, where you just sit down and have feasts and stuff like that.
Actually, combines elements from a lot of different things that we're familiar with now.
And the foods, it's like turnips. A lot of them were hollowed out. It's all the thing for pranks, and it has a lot to do with spirits, and I don't know.
A lot of goings on.
Yeah, it's just stuff that we don't believe in nowadays.
But Halloween goes back long ways.
But I guess if you're Celtic, and I guess some other places in Scotland would be this way for Halloween.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't go out and knock door to door and receive candy. You'd sit down with your apple and nuts and your chairs in your house, waiting for the dead.
Waiting for the dead to arrive. Unsettling thought, but that's one of the things that we've learned about Halloween is the extensive and interesting history behind it. And now we know why we do certain things now. It's not because It's not because, oh, everybody does it. There was originally a reason for it.
Well, it's like growing up in school and stuff like that. I mean, it's like certain classes would have a kind of a thing on Halloween. It's like supposed to be a celebration for the dead.
Yeah.
It's like I guess the one day out of the year where they can actually be themselves and come out of their grave, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And roam the earth on that one day.
On the one, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like kind of be themselves and not have to worry about other people seeing them or sort of kind of fit into the groove of the way Halloween's going. If you're dressed up as a ghost, I guess a sheet really isn't going to mark the difference between an actual spirit. All right.
So that's basically the history of Halloween as we know it. So now that we've discussed the history of Halloween
and destroyed the actual
and
meaning of Halloween.
absolutely destroyed the meaning of Halloween, we'll move on to what we got next. We've got our traditional schedule clips, and and we're waiting for it.
Not this time.
Not this time. We have for you a little tour. It's kind of a brief tour, but it's just kind of for fun. This is our tour through a haunted house, at least one that we believe to be haunted. And if it wasn't at the time, I'm sure it is by now. So right about now, we're gonna
just like this show. If it hasn't killed you by now, it will by the end.
It will by the end, yes. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that now, as we take you through the haunted house.
Coming up, we have something that was done a heck of a long time ago.
Yes.
It was actually Todd and I, Todd and Me's.
Pick one. Huh?
Mine and Todd's.
Yes.
First Halloween together. Actually, this one doesn't actually have. Well, I guess that's video per se, but it's not.
It's
not video taped, so there's no motion.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's a visual representation of a Halloween, but it's not the real thing. It's just a video that's accompanying the storyline.
Yeah, that was actually written after it actually happened, but it's true to the best of all ability.
Yes, as narrated by myself.
Yeah. And depicted as stupid as I was back then.
Yes. Ew, more than both of us. Some
So-
things never change.
Yeah. So what we have coming up now is Halloween '86.
It was October 31st, 1986. Chris and I had just got out of school. Chris's parents came to pick us up. Then, we started driving to St. Helens. On the way there, the jerk sneezed in my face. But then we arrived in St. Helens, and we went to Chris's grandma's house. When we got to his grandma's house, Chris's dad left to go to work. Chris has a fat aunt, but she's nice. She swears a lot, but then again, so does Chris. We had to wait a long time to go trick-or-treating, because it was so early. Finally, the time came, and we were excited. Chris dressed up like Frankenstein, and I dressed up like I don't know what. Of course, we had to go with Chris's two little brothers. We went to one house, knocked on the door opened, and Chris held out his plastic pumpkin and said, "Food." After we went to several houses, we went to the hospital to have our candy checked. The only thing we found was a pair of scissors. Then we walked back to Grandma's house. We finally got back from trick-or-treating. We went into Chris's aunt's room, sat on the bed, dumped out all our candy, and pigged out. We got balloons at the hospital, and we blew them up. It was fun playing catch with the balloons. One of them hit the single light bulb twisted into the socket, and when the balloon hit it, the stupid thing burnt out. Then Chris's grandma was chewing us out. We had to sit out in the living room for a long time watching his aunt's boring music videos. She was telling us about what group she likes, and Chris said, "Well, how about the Chuckles?" And she said, "No such group." And Chris's mom said, "Oh, hi, they're sitting right there." Suddenly, we found ourselves watching Return of the Living Dead or some movie like that. Chris liked it, and I thought it was pretty gross. Finally, at last, Chris's dad arrived around midnight. On the way home, Chris was telling him about some evil spirit that lived in his grandma's house. I said, "Right." He said it's true. His mom even said it was true. Chris said his name was Neil. When we got back to Chris's house, his dad hooked up their new computer. We played Tapper, Centipede, and Dig Dug. Then after a very long day, we went to sleep. I seemed to always be the first one to wake up. It was November 1st. I was excited because I was waiting for everyone to wake up so Chris's dad would hook up the computer. After we played the computer, we all left. They dropped me off at my house, and I waited for our next encounter.
Okay, that was an interesting story. That's actually a true story. This is what happened on our... actually, I believe it was our first and last Halloween, the actual Halloween that we spent as kids. Last time I went trick-or-treating, I know that.
Yeah, actually it was.
So it's been a long time ago.
It was a real fun night. Well,
It was pretty fun.
what happened afterwards is what sucked.
Yeah, as well, you saw the story. Like I said, it is a true story, as best as I can remember it. But anyway, that's one of our many Halloween features on tonight's show.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
did you ever notice?
Did you ever notice that if you see a movie, say in the theater, or you have the home video version of it, it's exactly as you remember it, In the theater?
Let me rephrase that.
Let me rephrase that. Okay, if you see him... You know how much tape we've wasted in this show. If you added up, if you've added up all the tape we've wasted over the years, I mean, you could fill a library.
Yeah.
Or at least the back seat of my car. What? You ever notice that there's like extra clips if you see it on TV? It's stuff that wasn't in the theater version or the home video version. It's like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. They just make it up for what they cut out.
You know, they're cutting out language or whatever. You know.
But let's put in the stuff that these people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Kind of added teasers to get you to watch the movie or something like that.
They were just saving it for DVD.
That could have been it too.
But a prime example of what we're talking about here was in the first Halloween, circa 1978, featuring a cast of Jamie Lee Curtis and veteran actor Donald Pleasance, one of our favorite actors. When this movie came out, we've seen it over and over again.
And we've actually got the story behind it, so I mean, we can go in for hours.
Yeah, we can go on for hours.
Actually,
we'll try to condense it here, but in a nutshell, when we saw the TV version on a cable station, there was, I don't know, at least one extra scene that was not in the theatrical version.
Actually, one of the longest scenes. Actually.
What
you know? Okay.
I've watched it for a while, so I can't remember if there was more stuff. But it's in this particular clip. I guess it wasn't all that exciting, but it kind of gives you more of the story on Michael Myers himself, why he is the way he is, and kind of what happened in between. I guess wasn't this scene in? It was somewhere between when he was hospitalized, but before he escaped.
Yes. It happened. Well, it's actually what had happened is Dr. Loomis had a meeting with the other, I guess, doctors or the hospital administrators.
Right,
administration. I guess, and trying to explain what Michael Myers was virtually, and it happened pretty much before Dr. Loomis drove off in a fist of glory, and it's like, it was 100. Haddonfield is 150 miles. That kind of.
Right.
But so, which brings us to tonight's trivia question.
Trivia question. Okay, this is for you extreme Halloween fans out there. We know you're out there. It's not just us. Okay, this is good for trivia because, again, the answer to this trivia question, to my knowledge, can only be found in this deleted clip.
That's it, and in no other Halloween flick. At least released video.
Yeah. At least released for public viewing.
Has his name or his middle name been mentioned? So, is Michael's middle name A, Tiberius,
B, Bartholomew,
C, Audrey,
or D, Franklin? We'll show you the answer contained within this deleted scene.
Reading from the decision of Judge Walter Ward. I have no choice but to remand Michael Audrey Myers to the Smiths Grove, Warren County Sanitarium, where he shall be placed in the care of a resident psychiatrist who shall report to this court no less than twice a year. Further, Michael Audrey Myers shall be brought before the court on the day of his 21st birthday, where he shall be tried as an adult for the murder of his sister, Judith Margaret Myers. Dr. Loomis?
Michael Myers must be removed from the sanitarium immediately. I would suggest the maximum security ward at Litchfield.
Dr. Loomis, the decision has been made.
But this is a minimum security institution. The staff isn't adequately prepared.
Prepared for what? The boy is a catatonic. He exhibits comatose behavior. No reaction to external stimuli.
Have you read my notes?
Yes, we have, Doctor.
Why were they not presented at the hearing?
The judge requested Dr. Foster's analysis.
I've spent 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day with this boy. Every day. For 6 months. Far longer than any court psychiatrist.
Dr. Loomis.
Michael Myers is the most dangerous patient I have ever observed.
Doctor, there is no diagnostic evidence to support that statement.
He's covering up. This catatonia is a conscious act. There's an instinctive force within him. He's waiting.
For what?
I don't know.
We can make a special recommendation to the court only if we feel there is a justifiable reason to change the patient's treatment. I can see no reason why he shouldn't remain here. We have adequate facilities for his care.
There is insufficient security here. Please, I am begging you to reconsider your decision.
Dr. Loomis, perhaps you should reconsider keeping him as your patient. We can find someone else to look after him.
I'll stay with him.
Now, is there anything else you wish to say, Dr. Loomis?
You fooled them, haven't you, Mike? But not me.
Well, there you have it. That is a deleted scene from the original Halloween.
And kind of goes to show you kind of why it was deleted, because it's kind of boring.
It's just boring as hell. But again, it shows you more in depth of why Michael is the way he is and kind of what was going on between the time he was hospitalized and the time he got out, and shows you actually on the same token shows you how Loomis got to be the way he was.
And it kind of, it doesn't necessarily, explains things, but it kind of shows you insight that you didn't get in the original movie.
Because Loomis, it was from this point that Loomis started to realize not necessarily who Michael was, but what he was. That he was going to be a force to be reckoned with in his
never-ending
later years. Yeah.
Which brings us to one more thing. You ever notice? It's like, okay, for those of you who have watched the Halloween movies, you would know Loomis as a gun-wielding psycho. Now, as being a psychiatrist, is it not your job and your duty to help patients?
Not to shoot him. I mean, he just
where did this guy get a gun? It's like every scene.
That's a good point. I don't know about you folks out there, but I don't happen to know any psychiatrists that are packing heat. Where's he getting this thing from? And it just automatically freaks out. It's like, and he tends to go on and on when he's describing Michael to somebody. It's like he goes on and on. And
you're right. He rambles on about that night. It's like, yet one night I looked into his eyes, and blah 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 blah.
Didn't even move. He just kind of retells the story over and over again in about 100 different ways. But you can see his even early on, from the very first movie, his obsession with Michael Myers. And that's another thing too. You ever notice you never hear Loomis talking about any other patients other than Michael Myers? You never hear about, there was this one patient I had that was bad. Michael had the darkest eyes.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong.
It always goes back to Michael. He never had any other patient but Michael.
Any other patient but Michael. And he's supposedly a veteran psychiatrist, and later on, his cohorts were either hoping that he resigned or died. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Is that how you want to be remembered?
Yeah, no kidding.
Which goes on back to the trivia question.
Our trivia questions for tonight.
So go ahead.
So, if you guessed that his middle name was Audrey,
Ding, 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 ding.
You're correct. What kind of stupid name is that for? I don't know who wrote this. Maybe that's another reason they cut this clip out.
If you put them together, it's ma'am.
Ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
So speaking of which, what happened to Michael Myers' parents?
That is a good question. Do they ever? I don't know if they ever actually get into that in the movies. I don't know if they died of natural causes or if, because I don't remember hearing anything about Michael killed his parents. That he only killed his sister.
I don't believe that he killed his parents. I believe something may have been answered in 1, 2, that they either died in a car accident, something like that. They died natural or what I guess.
That sounds somewhat familiar.
But
because I know Michael didn't kill. Well, at the end of the opening scene of Halloween, he's standing there and
and it's like after his parents died in the second one, his file was sealed.
Bingo.
Yeah.
The answer
lies.
The answer
with us.
will come to you.
All right. So we know way too much on Halloween. So
Yeah.
we're goobers.
As the first two movies are really the best of the bunch. There, they are coincidentally the only two of the Halloween series that were actually produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. You can kind
Produced
of tell,
and directed, actually.
Yeah, produced and directed. And actually, if you watch the movies, you can tell because 2 is a continuation of the first one. It's supposed to take place the same night.
Yes.
So, and you can just totally tell when when they brought Michael back in Halloween 4, it was just this whole Mustafa Akkad thing was just...
And did you ever notice? Three,
What is up
ladies
with
and
3?
gentlemen. Has nothing to do with Halloween 2, and has nothing to do with 4. Michael Myers is in there. He is in there.
He's mentioned.
Well, actually, he's not really mentioned because this dude's sitting in a bar and watching TV, and has a commercial between like ball games. I can't exactly remember which. They show a preview for Halloween.
The Immortal Classic, followed by the big giveaway at 9. Brought to you by...
Come on. What's the matter? Don't you have any Halloween spirit? No.
No kidding.
So he's actually shown in the movie.
You have the advantage over me. I've never seen Halloween 3, and you've told me not
But it
to.
is not worth watching, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not Halloween as we speak of. But definitely what you'd call a cult classic. It's a classic. Don't ask. But yeah, the Halloween has spawned how many movies now? 7, 8? I have lost count. Yeah, still our primary focus is the first 2 because those are by far the funniest. You'll see what we mean here a little later on. We kind of poke fun at the movies there,
or ram Halloween down your throat. One of the two.
Yeah, it's actually we're the kind of guys that find the humor in just about anything. You know, we can watch a movie that's totally serious and find humor in it.
Yeah, and we'll make fun of it.
To no end. But that's okay, because I mean it's a fictional story, so we can make fun of it. That's what we're here for. And actually, speaking of making fun of movies, over the years we've made different clips where we make fun of movies or TV shows, whatever.
We call these remake takes.
Remake takes is our actual name for these. We've done this with several movies in the past. And it's just kind of something fun we do. We kind of screw up a clip and actually make things happen that didn't originally happen. Like this is a strange coincidence. Have you ever watched Star Trek: The Next Generation? Have you ever noticed there is a uncanny resemblance between Data and Michael Myers? You ever notice that?
Well, they have the same kind of hairdo. They're both basically emotionless.
Right. And the face is real similar. If you blacked out Data's eyes through some coveralls over him, you'd have Michael Myers. In fact, in this one episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, you actually see Michael Myers in Data. That side of Data comes out in this one particular episode. Take a look.
Hello, Data.
Okay, sorry about that. We couldn't resist. But anyway, continuing on with our Halloween clips for tonight. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was kind of done, I guess, on the spot, and it was just
on a whim.
It's like, well, we were busy doing some, we were in the middle of like doing an AC/DC skit, and I guess during or right before or during, Todd had this clip, and it's like, well, we're busy messing with blue screen, so what the heck? And this is like, I don't know, maybe a good 5-6 seconds.
Yeah, it's not that long. It's a little longer than that, but it's probably 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty short and sweet. I like to call it, but
this one's as we call it, the Great Pumpkin.
Hey, aren't you going to wait and greet the Great Pumpkin? Huh? It won't be long now. If the Great Pumpkin comes, I'll still put in a good word for you. Good grief, I said if. I meant when he comes. I'm doomed. One little slip like that can cause the Great Pumpkin to pass you by. Oh, Great Pumpkin, where are you?
okay. That's actually one of my favorite clips. Short, sweet, and to the point. That's something we made. We were just screwing around, just having fun with it, and actually turned out pretty good.
Coming up next is something that once again we put together. Not necessarily last minute, but this is kind of filled. It's got different things in it. It's not necessarily remake takes, just constantly all the way through. It's got some things that are different in there. Well, it does. But this is actually, in our sense, a tribute to one of our favorite actors, Donald Pleasance. Once again, it's Halloween.
What's Halloween without Donald Pleasance?
So, and like I said, it does have remake takes, which, of course, this is us crying out loud. And it does have something at the end of, which is something, I guess, well, not new, but a little bit more enjoyable, I guess, if...
It's our pride and joy.
it's the thing that made this whole thing possible.
Yes.
Or better. And so it's kind of a music video, for lack of a better term. So what we got coming up next is in memory of Donald Pleasance. Enjoy.
Good evening, I'm Todd Hilton.
And I'm Chris DeBois.
And tonight we have a small little show that we call In Memory Of. And this is a tribute to one of our favorite actors, Mr. Donald Pleasance.
And anyone who's seen any of the Halloween series would know him as Samuel Loomis. Dr.
Samuel Loomis. And basically this show is just our way of giving tribute to him in the only way that we know how, by making fun of him. And anyone who knows us really well would know that Chris and I often make fun of things that we like the most. We usually don't make fun of stuff that we don't like for some reason. Just the stuff we do like. But as I said, this is the only way we know how, so...
Sit back and enjoy. In memory of.
In memory of.
Donald Pleasance.
Donald Pleasance.
Hello? 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 Come on, I know you're there. I can hear the radio.
police! Tell the sheriff I shot him.
Who?
The sheriff. I shot him.
Is this some kind of joke?
You don't know what death is.
What's going on out here?
Call the police. Tell the sheriff I shot him. 6 times.
Who?
The sheriff, he's still on the loose.
Is this some kind of joke?
Shut up.
Help me! Help! Help! Help!
Shut up.
Stop! He's dead.
No, he's not.
But he stopped breathing.
Turn this car around now.
I can't do that. I've got orders.
Those orders just changed.
Dr. Loomis!
Shut up.
Doctor, you're getting yourself into a lot of trouble.
What is it you fellas usually do? Fire a warning shot, right? Where's the hospital located?
Dr. Loomis, we're under orders from the governor.
It's back on Route 17, about 3 miles.
Turn this car around. Fire a warning shot, right?
I can't do that.
Jesus, don't you see what he's doing here in Haddonfield? He killed one sister.
I can't do that.
What is it you fellas usually do, right?
Don't go to Haddonfield. If you want another victim, take me. But leave those people in peace. Please. Michael. Damn you. Damn you.
Boogeyman! Boogeyman! Boogeyman!
Haddonfield is 150 miles away from here now. Now, for God's sakes, he can't drive a car.
He was doing very well last night. You must be ready for him. If you don't, it's your funeral.
He came home. This isn't a man.
The boogeyman is coming.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times.
And he just got up and walked away.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times.
And he just got up and walked away.
I am talking about the real possibility that he is still out there. Call the police. Tell the sheriff I shot him. Tell him he's still on the loose. I shot him in the heart.
Can't have gotten very far. Come on.
I shot him 6 times. This guy, he's not human. I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. walked away.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times.
And he just got up and walked away. Got up and walked away.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times.
And he just got up and walked away.
The evil is gone.
Okay, folks. Hope you enjoyed that last clip there. So that's actually one of our pride and joys there. We're pretty proud of that one. That was kind of a fun thing to do. The main part of it was the music video, and that kind of spawned actually this entire show. Kind of based on that music video as our tribute to Donald Pleasance and the Halloween series.
Well, actually, the music video wasn't the spawn for this because we had the remake takes before the video.
That's true.
But
it kind of brought the whole thing together.
let's just say if it wasn't for Halloween the movie, this show would have never been put on.
It would have never been possible.
We wouldn't have anything to put on.
We wouldn't have nothing to talk about. So. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show, regardless of the stupidity you've witnessed tonight. But it's been fun. We've gotten to share with you some clips that we've had buried in our archives, and
for good reason.
For some of them, for good reason. Others, it's kind of cool to bring them out again. And we hope you've enjoyed tonight's show, and hope you had a safe Halloween. And for those of you still watching us, we want to thank you for watching.
I can see.
For Nowhere Video, I'm Chris DeBois.
And I'm Todd Hilton.
Thanks for watching.
Movies.
And good night.
I can see you. I know you like scary movies.